Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, yes. Let me stop, y'all. Okay, so here I'm doing this video on Eros conjunct the moon. Synastry. So what do I have to say about this? Automatically, we have a situation here to where it gets pretty personal. It gets pretty personal. Eros is about desire, passion, the undercurrents, the undertones of what drives us. So what drives us? It's like, okay, well, I'm passionate about this, but this is why. Eros can explain why it's passionate about something. Where Mars, it's like I'm just doing. The Eros is like, I know I'm doing this because it makes me feel good. I feel alive. I feel motivated. I'm having different experiences. I feel turned on, whatever the case may be. And with the moon goes personal, as we know. The moon is about security. The moon is emotions, about our emotions, about our personal life, our personal aspects of ourselves, even our subconscious mind on so many levels. And the good thing about Eros and the moon is that Eros can pick up on a lot of the moon's subconscious non-verbal communication and act accordingly, like naturally act accordingly. Now, I would say this, the moon possibly likes this experience more than Eros, because since Eros is about desire and in the fulfillment of that and the pleasure of that, it could be tend to be a lot more physical, which is you can see show up in the Eros and the moon conjunction. But a lot of times it's not necessarily trying to operate emotionally. I will say this, Eros, the good thing about this synastry as well as Eros in the moon do develop a deeper connection, a personal connection. It's like more personal. It's like Eros knows things about the moon that maybe other people don't get to know. And it could be really, it could be something that's really automatic. Like it automatically happen. Like, you know, when they first meet each other, they can both really tend to feel comfortable around each other. When it could take them longer, like the moon might not expose themselves to people typically on a typical basis, you know, but being around or involved with the Eros, they could feel more inclined to just, you know, show more of their personal self instead of, you know, hiding behind the personality. They could go deeper very quick. And here, the moon person feels secure. I mean, to a point. Anyways, the moon person feels secure until they start getting more on the emotional level and certain sensitivities that they want to be taken into accountability and acknowledged, and not just wanting to feel passion and desire all the time. That could be, you know, this could be where maybe the sun in Eros compatibility or synastry could be a lot more designed to interact with each other and bounce off of each other, just like Eros and Mars. But Eros also feel, it's this, I feel like there's a general underlined understanding between the two. Okay. There's an understanding, like an unspoken understanding. And I will say this, like they could really bring up like a little psychological, what I want to say is like Eros, whatever feelings are there, especially like whatever the moon has on going on, Eros can fuel those emotions easily. So like if the moon person is angry about something, upset about something, the moon person can fuel it. The moon person could, you know, push those emotions up. And that's not a bad thing. It just depends on how the moon person is responding. Intimately, these two can definitely be passionate, and especially depending on what sign that we're talking about this is in here. Like there could be a very passionate, emotional connection between the two, to where the deep, like the ability to be one's self, or the empathy that they share between each other, could be something that makes them comfortable or feel stable or secure with each other. Because like there's certain things that I'm trying to go to, y'all. But see, when I'm doing, I want you to understand, when I'm doing these signs and these energies and stuff like that, there's things that I know about them that maybe is not the typical information that's put out there. And the challenge is always like, oh, well, that's not what's supposed to be happening if a person is not hearing what they typically see. I had noticed that people seek out to hear the same repetitive information. It's like they go to confirm something that's already said versus what could actually be taking place in the changes and why, and you know, things of that nature. But that's neither here nor there. The reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen very good stuff about the Eros in Moon Synastry, but I feel like where this could be something that could be warm and comfortable and secure, it can also be somewhat mixed matched if you look at Eros's desire and passion, you know, like what urges somebody to do something versus like a person's emotional state or subconscious state of being. Because if Eros gets in there and starts digging in the moon's subconscious state that the moon doesn't want another person to know about, or isn't ready to share and connect with, or is trying to bury, it can be, the moon could act kind of defensive as well, you know. So I just wanted to put that out there. The moon could be like, even though there's a natural comfort there, it depends on, you know, each individual is what I'm trying to say. But if they in there and they grooving right, the fact that Eros, it's like Eros desires and is even turned on by the moon's shyness or coyness, or, you know, even if they have to be distant sometimes, or the moon's ability to connect with them. You know, it's just like they have to, I feel like it's in two different ways almost, but it could be fulfilling for both. You know, and when they are this could get deep and heavy, you know, because if they're being intimate with each other, there's a lot of, you know, really wanting to mesh with each other. They definitely can affect each other on a psychological level, and this could be for the better or it could be for the worse. It just depends, you know, because it could be hard for them to split up from each other, and because they found some sort of security blanket here, or they've woven their own security blanket here between the two. So it's like, I feel like it's like a bond that gets established. So even if they were to break up or they weren't together, they could have a bond that lasts for a long time, for a while to come, you know. Intimacy could be, you know, very good, because, you know, getting turned on by each other's natural state. It's like the moon just is comfortable with the intuitive knowing of Eros, the way that Eros intuitively flows with them. And Eros can flow with the moon's moods and emotions too. And then it's like Eros is like desiring or turned on by the moon's vulnerability, and it's like the moon can show them how to be in ways that they didn't know how to, and it creates a bond. All right, this has been Moon conjunct Eros Synastry. I'm Butterfly to Light, and you know, I'll be back.